Three men in a room, sweating. Usually an exciting place to be, and right now it's just sort of one of relief, because I'm here in a backstage caravanny thing at the Underbelly, down London South Bank, with Dick and Dom.
Sounds a little bit odd, doesn't it? Three men in a room sweating. But it's true, because we've all just come off stage doing our Dick v Dom show, and lovely Chris here was our referee.
I played V.
Yes, you did. V.
Show.
He was very good. Very good.
Thank you.
He was excellent. The crowd weren't too keen, but they kind of stuck through it, I think.
I think a few of them slapped me on the way out just to make their point. Really. I take that as encouragement.
No, he was very good.
Now, you two are very busy, and I don't want to keep you for too long.
Good.
On mic. In reality, I'll stow you away somewhere.
I'm packing up my stuff as we're doing this, so this best be quick.
Oh, God. Well, as I've got you potted, then, as it were.
Potted?
Someone else has nicked that, though, haven't they? Anyway.
What's he talking about?
I don't know.
I've got you bottled right now for a miniature period.
Oh,
so
I see. Yeah.
I'm going to take advantage of your brains and your thoughts and your instincts within sort of this world, the world of family entertainment and kids TV and things like that, to ask you just a few key questions.
Yes.
Bits of advice for those who are following along at home.
Go on, then ask us.
No. What's
the question?
But first, for my sick pleasure, tonally, before we begin, I just want to prove to everybody that this isn't a safe environment. So I'd like you to say things that you wouldn't be allowed to say on kids TV, which you two kind of get away with anyway.
We do.
But just part of the tradition of these. So who'd like to take the first one?
Wait, hang on a minute.
This is I'd just like you to read out a sentence. Don't worry, you can trust me. It's not heinous or incriminating yet.
Oh no, we're not going to read that out.
Oh, come on.
No,
someone
no,
read that out with their mouths.
Chris, we're not going to.
You read it out.
Oh, no, I'll save that for another one then. I'll save that for another one. How about that? Who wants that one? Does anyone want to read that piece of filth?
No,
Okay.
we're not saying that one.
Have I found the two things you won't say?
These are sound bites that could become headlines. Do you know what I mean?
No one's going to listen to this apart from us three.
Oh, right, okay.
It's safe, it's fine. Right, well, I'm going to start at the beginning then. You two
Something
pride
about the
yourself-
Chuckle Brothers, something about someone's dad. That's what it said.
Oh God. You two pride yourself on, like, well, do you have pride?
No.
No, okay, just checking. But you two pride yourself on, obviously, what a lot of people consider pushing the envelope in terms of kids' TV, because you're not afraid to actually be unsafe and unfiltered.
Yes.
Is that important in the kids' TV and family entertainment industry at the minute? And do you think it's lacking right now?
It is lacking right now. We were very lucky back in the day with Dick and Dom in a Bungalow, kind of being given an open book and just doing kind of what we wanted to a certain level. But what we did was, what we usually do when we're writing stuff is we don't write stuff for kids per se. We write stuff that's funny and we find funny, and hopefully they find funny. And it's not just, some of the stuff we do obviously is kind of crossover. It goes into kind of families, and parents quite enjoy the gags as well, whereas the kids don't know what on earth we're talking about, but they kind of find it funny because it just sounds weird. So yes, but there is a lack of it, so do more of it. Come on, somebody.
I think more risks need to be taken in general. As far as like your influences go, because a lot of people who would be listening to these who want bits of advice would be like, oh God, like I love Dick and Dom, like Dick and Dom, why I want to do this. So in fact, like 5 minutes before us hit record, we met a young lady here at Underbelly who wants to go into presenting because of you guys.
Yeah.
Where are your influences from? Because I'd hazard a guess it's more comedic stuff.
Yes.
And I can think of a couple, but I want to see what you said, see if I can play bingo in my mind.
I think that we grew up with and were very influenced by the Goons, so Spike Milligan, Peter Sellers, all that lot. Spike, definitely, he was very influential. And then Rick Mail and all of the Ben Elton lot from that era, because they were the first comedians to really bring politics into comedy. They were very much influential, and broadcaster-wise, non-comedians. Python as well. Python were very, very influential. So, yeah, Pythons, Goons, and all the Ben Elton lot.
Nice. I always get a taste of the goodies from your stuff as well.
Oh, yeah.
Especially thinking about shows like Hookah and Bungalow, there's that kind of
Yeah, we always forget that.
element
the
of
goodies.
the surreal.
It's definitely surreal.
You mustn't forget Tim Brooke Taylor.
I beg pardon?
Mustn't forget Tim Brooke.
No, we don't. We never forget him.
No, we never do, actually. No. Even when we're having a Sunday roast, we never forget it.
Think of you put on your Union Jack waistcoats and dream.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you're driving on the A306, you can think about Bill Oddie as well.
Harry Seacombe is my favourite. Was he in the Goons?
No, he's the Goons.
He was
Not the
Goons.
Goodies.
Graham Garden was the other. I mean, there's Michael Bentine if you want to go back for the early Goons.
I've just said how heavily influenced we are by all of those groups, and you think that Harry Seacombe's in the Goons.
I don't know, I'm
The
half
Goodies.
asleep. We were doing a DJ gig until 4 o'clock this morning in a student uni in Essex, so we're a bit tired.
But that's the thing, you guys have sort of brought your like brand of fun and nonsense and chaos on the road, and you've created several shows.
Yes.
First up, and I'll remind you to do this again at the end, what can people look out for throughout the year of 2018?
2018,
If you'd like to come see
we
you live.
are doing the festival circuit again, so we've got lots of family festivals all over the country.
Jimmy's Farm,
Farm,
Big Festival, which used to be Jamie was
Camp
one.
Festival,
Camp Festival.
Chowfest, loads of different ones. But the main one is the Edinburgh Festival, which is from the 1st to the 12th of August. Please come and watch if you're in Edinburgh. It's going to be we're going to be fringing. Yes,
We've never fringed before, so we're looking forward to it.
You're breaking your fringe barrier.
Fringe it
I was gonna
right
say
up.
something filthier, but fringe it right. That'd work. Stick that on the poster. So when you're translating it to a live environment and you're bringing it into these arenas, does a lot of thought go into that? You know, the tone obviously is quite easy to translate, but do you have to really plan out sorts of shows like this to capture that magic, or is it just naturally?
The essence of it is just Dick and Dom traditional stuff, which you've seen on the telly, but moving it to stage is a bit different because you can't just kind of present these items. You have to kind of entertain the masses. They are there live watching you, so you've got to kind of write it in a way that is right for stage, and that is a long process because this show's been going on for since about 2011.
This is
7
Dick
years.
V. Dom's,
and it's only got to its kind of peak now where all the gags are in the right place. It's kind of the same every time because we know what works, but you have to do that over and over again until you find out what works and what doesn't, because sometimes you might see stand-ups like for Edinburgh trying new material which absolutely dies, but the reason why they're trying it is because you've got to give it a go and see what works, but it's a long process.
What he said.
Fair enough. I'm not going to keep you much longer, guys, because we all stink like something that stinks.
Well, you stink of Lynx Africa, but
that's a specific brand, of which, if they'd like to sponsor me, that's great. I'll take a crate.
That's not the BBC, is it? We don't have to say other deodorants are available.
That's true. A friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours who works in children's, always says whenever he's live and stuff, such a body, like, other brands are available, but they're not as good, which is his get around.
Yes, very nice.
He's still not been sponsored by Lucozade, which is what he really wants. But anyway, I'm going to ask you
next question.
I'm going to ask you three wrap. God, I'm going to ask you 3 wrap-ups, 2 daft ones and 1 genuinely kind of serious one that I always end with. You encounter lots of guests working at Kids TV. Obviously on Bungalow you had a lot of guests in that environment. You had lots of bands and things like Hoopla and everything.
Yeah.
You met an absolute genius. Who would you say, and you can choose whether to answer this or not, but it'd be nice if you do, who would you say is the best guest you've ever had to work with? Best guest encounter?
Reece Shearsmith was good. He was very good. From Inside Number 9 and League of Gentlemen.
Oh, of course you worked with him on
He was on
Diddy
TV. Yeah, he literally just turned up, was hilarious, and left.
Well, he's a friend. He's a good guy, isn't he?
He's a very good guy.
Nice,
very nice guy. And he gets it. He understands what's going on. The weird stuff.
Who would you say is the most difficult or surprisingly difficult guest you've ever had to work with?
Really?
No, I mean, there was an incident.
Like I said, you don't have to.
There was a well-known incident years ago where Rachel Stevens stormed off the bungalow from S Club 7.
I don't think she stormed off.
No,
she just didn't want to
do
it,
so she left the building.
So
But
it was more surprisingly like, okay, moving on.
Yeah, she just left.
Well, she wasn't difficult. She joined in with everything else in the show. That could have even been a managerial decision as well. We don't know. Anyway,
but what's she doing now?
I don't think we really.
She's doing Panto and St Albans this year.
Yeah.
Oh right, well, fair
But
enough.
I don't think we've actually encountered anyone that's been particularly difficult. Really, everyone's been pretty willing and good fun to work with. Apart from yourself, probably.
I was going to say you could say I'm an
Just
arse.
you, basically.
Oh, lovely. And final question, semi-serious. What if you could bottle a piece of advice for someone listening now who's like, I want to be in that world? What would it be?
Don't do it. No, I'm joking. Determination is one of the main things you need. I wrote to Philip Schofield when I was about 12, and he said, just be determined and just keep going. Because if you stop, you won't get there, so just do it.
Or,
every day.
My advice would be as well, get another trade under your belt.
Yes,
so learn another skill, because this is quite a fickle and brutal industry.
A good example
really
of that is Harry Batt from the Bungalow. Do you remember him?
Yeah,
Geordie Copper.
Yeah.
He's actually trained as a DIY man. He does plumbing and what else? Like he can put kitchens in and so when he's an actor and he's in quiet time, he goes and builds kitchens. But it's good because he's getting paid money all the time. So it's good that you have an extra
keeps him
source
busy.
of income.
Yeah. So that would be our advice. Or if you are going into it and you want to stay in television, I think getting experience in production is also a very, very good idea, so that when this fickle beast decides to chew you up and spit you out, you can always work behind the camera, which is as fulfilling and has great longevity.
Talking of which, that's exactly what you've done, Chris. You've chewed us up, you've spat us out. Farewell, goodbye. We've got to go and pack up our kit.
Yes, thanks very much, lads, for sitting down with me for just a moment there.
Not a problem.
Sweet.
Hopefully we can get you to play out in a Broomcode world
And
sometime
luckily,
soon.
you didn't ask us to say the B word, so that's even better.
Why, what's that?
Oh,